Hello and welcome back to X-Plane 11. Thank you very much for joining me in this video, and today we are going to be taking a look at the last of the ORBX freeware available for X-Plane 11 currently, and that's going to be the Stafsberg airport in Norway. It's Echo November Hotel Alpha. So what we're going to do, as I have been doing in the previous two episodes, I'm going to be looking at this airport as it's like in default X-Plane, and then we're going to install the add-on and then go back into X-Plane, same thing, same aircraft, have a look around, maybe take a little bit of a flight and see exactly what we can find. Now, if you want to know how to install all these add-ons, just go check out the video that I released a couple of weeks ago on the L52 Oceana Airport in California, which was the first ORBX freeware that I had a look at, and it tells you everything about installing all of these add-ons, any payware or freeware, for in fact any simulator, not just X-Plane 11. So if you want to know about that, just go watch that video, then you can return to this. So let's get into this. Let's confirm that. And I think the aircraft we're going to be taking is going to be the Just Flight Cessna 152, around 2 p.m. in the afternoon, or quarter to 2 in the afternoon-ish, and we're just going to have a little bit of clouds. So that's what we're going to do. Make sure you stay tuned for the next around half an hour to have a look at what this airport is like in default and then with ORBX. Right, so here's the airport in current X-Plane configuration. So what do we have? It's a very small airport, it seems. I have no idea what this is. What is that? Yeah, I genuinely have no idea what that is. Some sort of water tower of sorts, I don't know. So we've got a windsock, we've got, let's have a look. A simple taxiway. We've got some roads that just stop, so they come along here and then they stop. We've got this little area around here. I'm assuming this is Stafsberg or Stafsberg, however you pronounce it. I'm gonna have to double check that. We've got this section of road which doesn't seem to make any sense. I'm assuming the road's supposed to go alongside here and connect up to this or something. But the airport itself looks like it's in a decent enough area. At least I know where I can fly around now. There really isn't much to talk about with this airport. It looks like we've got a radio mast, some sort of antenna over here, a VOR station. That's what this is. Yeah, that's a VOR station with a DME, potentially. There might be a DME fitted with it, but that's definitely a VOR station. Aside from that, the airport is very, very simple. Oh look, hang on, we've got something here as well. What's this? Oh, that's a beacon. Okay, so we've got the airport beacon here, which is, as you can see, flashing white and green. And that's it. Interesting, it's not a... Oh, look at that, that road goes straight up to the taxiway. There really isn't much to say about this airport. Okay, so that's a very quick look at the airport. What we're going to do now is I'm going to just install the ORBX airport, and we're going to hopefully see a very clear difference between the two. So stay tuned, and I will be back in probably a few seconds for you guys. This is interesting. I like this terrain. I do like this terrain, but it just seems to disappear around the airport. Very interesting. Anyway, I'll be back in a few seconds with the ORBX installed one. Okay, now we are talking. This is very different. So we've got a whole bunch of trees here now. That's never used to be in this area. So you can see all these trees have been added. All of this, we've got a bunch of housing. I don't think none of this housing. So this here is the default housing. I'm fairly certain of that. Yes, these are the default houses. It seems. This here, these are proper. Yeah, these are proper Norwegian houses. All along this area, all the way out to here. Very, very nice. And all of this area here. And just look at that airport. That's... A very narrow runway. This is going to be an interesting fly around, I will say that. A very narrow runway. We've got bollards, literal bollards at the end. I'm going to try and have a look at this at night time. There's the VOR. The VOR is now moved from here to over here. I can't see the beacon anymore. Perhaps it doesn't have a beacon. We have some areas to park aircraft. You can actually see an aircraft parked here. There you go, there's an aircraft parked here. Standard Cessna 172, a windsock up there. We've got a hangar. This looks more like an airport now. The roads that were seeming to cut across the runway have disappeared. This road, now, this is interesting. There are houses here, but the road is still just jagged. But they have added houses, and there is housing around this area too. Again, I wonder if the HD mesh would fix that. But this is... I like this, and you know what, again, it just shows what ORBX can do. They are capable of doing some astounding things. Let's actually get a decent screenshot of the airport. I think that's probably a fairly decent screenshot of the airport. That can go on the video for the thumbnail, so that's fantastic. Right, let's actually get inside this aircraft of ours and take a bit of a flight. So if you can hear a bit of knocking in the background, I do apologise. There's not much I can do about that, sadly. Right, let's go for it. So I'm just going to take a very quick flight around. And we're just going to fly over the airport a couple of times, have a look at it from the distance, and just see what it's like. It's a very small runway, I will say that. Positive rate. Okay. I think the approach is going to be interesting. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to fly outwards. These power lines sort of are in the way. That's got nothing to do with the airport, of course. But obviously it requires a much steeper climb out then than we actually did. So just going to fly out this section, or this area. I'm just going to swing it around in a moment. And we're just going to have a look at what we've got. Flaps can go in. That's going to let our speed increase. Our nose will dip down as I want it to. And now I'll pull my power back as well a little bit. As I level out. Right, okay. Again, if you want to know how to fly these aircraft in the fashion that I'm flying them, do go check out my series, The Ground Up Advanced Flight Tutorials. Lots and lots of videos there, all about flying aircraft and how to correctly fly aircraft. How to understand an aircraft and see what we can do. Right, so we're just going to swing this all the way around. I'm actually going to reduce the power a little bit more as we're getting to 100 knots. Don't need to go any further or any faster than 100 knots. I'm just going to have a look around as we take quite a steep turn. It's going to turn all the way back to 150. There it is, and then you can actually see the airport ahead of us as we lower the nose just a little bit more than I wanted to. Obviously, I still have to get used to this aircraft a little bit. But you can see I'm fairly stable with the aircraft. So I'm not too concerned about my flying at the moment. And of course, this isn't about flying, this is all about that airport right there. I mean, just look at that. I have to say that is fairly impressive. That is actually impressive. I am going to lower the nose just a little bit. We're descending up at about 100 feet a minute. I'm going to see if I can just line myself up on a downwind leg. Now it does drop the frames a little bit. I have noticed that. There is a slight drop in frames. There we go. We can have a good look out the window at this airport. There you have it. That is actually pretty impressive. I will say that. I'll even move over like this so we can see it a little bit better. That little judder there was just a screenshot. And I guess let's move out a little bit and then we'll turn in and we'll see if we can land this aircraft on this narrow runway. Again, I am impressed with the fact that the runway is a lot narrower than I thought, or a lot narrower than X-Plane actually made it in its default scenery, which is obviously, that gives you more to play with, that gives you more of a challenge. And I would like to see or attempt landing larger aircraft at this airport. That would be very interesting. This lake is full of boats. That's the Simhaven extra objects. I might actually get rid of the boats. There's a lot of boats for this body of water. But anyway, I'm going to turn this around as I can hear knocking myself. So I'm going to turn this around and we will land the aircraft. And hopefully that gives you a good view or a good demonstration of this airport and the surrounding area. ORBX, again, they make some of the greatest, they really do make some of the greatest products in terms of scenery that I know. And let's just turn it pretty sharp now. As we're slowing down, don't let the vertical speed drop too much. We'll just line up with the runway as soon as we can see it. Where is it? You know when you lose an airport, I found the airport. I'm not going to land it there, am I? Let's see if I can land it there. Slow it right down. Okay, so this is not how you land an aircraft, I will say that. Flaps out. But obviously, not knowing the area, I cut that turn in far too sharp. Yeah, that was far too steep of a bank. Speaking of which, this airport's actually up on an embankment, which is really interesting. There's the runway. Okay, here we go. Full flaps will be required here. Slow it right down to about 60 knots. Bring it just in over the trees. Now you can see the frames do drop a little bit here, and I think it is to do with the trees. I do think it's the trees that cause this. Now, I think as soon as we're over the trees, we've got to drop the plane, which is what I'm doing now. And at that point, we can pretty much idle it. Ooh, this is a very tough runway to land on. Long landing. There we go, we're down. And hard on the brakes. Actually, that wasn't as bad as I thought it would be. But you can see that it does... where are we going? Got some cones around. It does have an impact on the frames. And I do think it's to do with the amount of trees we've got. Because now that we're past the trees, you can see this area is a lot smoother. I'll just turn it around here. Onto the grass. That there is actually the brakes because I don't have my brakes set correctly. So don't worry about the squeal. But there you can see, as we start going towards the trees, the frames do drop off a little bit. So the downside to this is that the frames are, there are problems that are caused by the frames. I just realized I wasn't actually in idle. I was wondering why the props sounded so loud. That's where I wanted to be, around here. That's better. So we'll just pull over at the hangar, and that's where we'll end this video. Thank you very much for watching. Please remember to hit the like button if you like this video. Subscribe to the channel for more videos on X-Plane 11. Leave a comment in the comments box below letting me know what you think. Is this a way off? Nope. Here's a taxiway. There's more of that noise. There we go. Don't forget to support me on Patreon, www.patreon.com/ecgadget. Your support would be massively appreciated. Would really help me out. Now, where do I go from here? Okay, I wanted to go to the hangar. Obviously, I've got that wrong. I thought there was a path or a taxiway that went across. It doesn't. We've got to go back onto the runway and then back out. Well, I tell you what, we'll just go on the opposite side. There we go. Why not? Why not? Let's go to the opposite side. Also, you can follow me on Twitch, twitch.tv/ecgadget, and also on social media. That's going to be ecgadgetlp for both Twitter and Instagram. That's all from me. Thank you very much for watching. Let's stop near this petrol station. We'll stop right there. And I'll see you guys next time in X-Plane 11. Also, if you have picked this up, do let me know what you think. What do you think of this series? We'll take one more quick look outside. As you can see, there's another quick look outside. Very nice. Really shows positivity from ORBX, and I can't wait to see their true England for X-Plane. That's all from me. Thank you once again, and I'll see you guys next time.